In case all of you are wondering, where is Samil Malhotra sir? Sorry, he's caught up a little today, so I'm filling in, but not as clever as Samil sir, but I try. But today's task is easier because I have a very, very dynamic personality sitting next to me. Sir is Dr. Birendra Chaudhary. Sir is a veteran, a seasoned journalist for more than 2 decades now. Extremely, of course, clever, intelligent, but very, very humble. And what I love about Sir is that he still has this little twinkle in his eyes. Every time he's talking about journalism or media. So thank you so much, Sir, for being here with us today. And we'll keep it informal.
Yes.
We'll go through your journey as a journalist and also look at some advice for the future generation. So it's about talking about credibility and or creativity in today's news, but we will also cover a lot of other areas as we go along. Okay. So before we start, I wanted to first ask you that did journalism happen to you, or did you choose journalism? Like, how did journalism happen? Number one. Number two, why broadcast? So, can you shed some light on that?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. Namaskar. You have given me the great opportunity to participate in your very popular program, and I would try my best to justify your questions, obviously, honestly, and sincerely. So, first question is
with credibility and creativity.
And creativity,
okay, all right.
Obviously. So, my journalism journey, must tell you, Rupanjali, it started in the very childhood days.
Okay.
My father loved politics, news, and everything. So, and he was a Sanskrit scholar. So he used to listen 7 a.m. Doordarshan Sanskrit news.
Oh wow!
And in fact, I lost my father at 14. So all these happened before 14.
Okay.
So just I will read one line. I will read, in fact, I will narrate. In Sanskrit, in the 7 a.m. morning, line was, Ayam Akashvani, Samprati Varta Suryantam, Pravachika Baldevananda Sagara. So what I used to do, Ayam Akashvani, Samprati Varta Suryantam, Pravachika Birendra Chaudhary. So what I want to say, there was a dream. Why not? Birendra Chaudhary can become an anchor.
Right.
So after that I landed in JNU. So lots of exposure, everything.
Right.
And finally I got a great opportunity with a great person in India's topmost journalist. In fact, that was also another story. One of my friends came to me in JNU that, Birendra, are you interested in job?
How old were you?
JNU में तो मैं 24-25 साल का था.
Right.
So JNU में जब आया तो मेरा दोस्त था एक तमिलनाडु का, मेरा क्लासमेट था. तो उसने कहा कि आप would you like to work with Karan? Yes, obviously, I need a job.
Karan Thapar.
Karan Thapar. So I did not have planned, in fact, I am going to join our news channel or organization or any newspaper.
Right.
But all of a sudden I got an opportunity.
Right.
Certainly name was great. And channel, BBC, that was called BBC, Hard Talk India, face to face.
Correct.
So in that way, I started my journalistic journey.
Right.
That is the story.
So जब आपके दिल में था तो I think पूरा ब्रह्मांड वो conspire करता है to make this a reality, and that's what happened in your case as well. Now just coming to the topics that credibility or creativity. Let's start by kind of defining the topic first. So when we say that what according to you comprises a sound and a credible piece of news? Like, is there like a checklist which you say, okay, this is what a very credible, solid piece of news should look like, and then we'll come to the creativity aspect. So can you kind of shed some light on what makes a piece of news credible and sound? Yeah.
See, हम क्या करते हैं जब स्टोरी का आइडिएशन स्टेज से शुरू होता है, होता यह है कि जब भी कोई रिपोर्टर स्टोरी लाता है तो स्टोरी को जानने के बाद उसके ऑथेंटिसिटी को हम जानने का प्रयास करते हैं. पहला सवाल यही होता है कि ये स्टोरी कहां से आया है, ये स्टोरी क्या है, उसको क्रॉस चेक करना पड़ता है हमें,
राइट,
सोर्सेस से, रिपोर्टर से। फिर उसके बाद क्या होता है कि हम हमेशा इस चीज को, क्योंकि आज टुडेज वर्ल्ड देयर इज अ बिग थ्रेट ऑफ फेक न्यूज, फेक वीडियो। ऐसी स्थिति में और भी सवाल होता है कि क्रेडिबिलिटी को हमेशा जेल में रखना पड़ता है कि ये वीडियो है तो ये वीडियो सही है या गलत है, स्टोरी सही है या गलत है। उसको रेक्टिफाई करने के लिए हम क्या करते हैं कि उसको हम क्रॉस चेक करते हैं, नंबर 1। नंबर 2, स्टोरी पर हम रिएक्शन लेते हैं जो कंसर्न स्टेक होल्डर है। यदि स्टोरी गलत होगा तो जो रिएक्शन जिनका है वो मना कर देंगे। हाँ, all elements are included.
So source,
I want to say we always try to make a story on the basis of credible idea, credible sources.
Credible idea, credible sources, getting every party that's involved
cross check their reaction and everything, so that I can say this is the story, this is the reaction, all sides participation, so that viewer can judge whatever they want, but storyline will be on the correct line.
Right. So the viewer can take away whatever side or whatever view he wants to take out of it, but the story itself needs to be objective, unbiased, talking about all styles, with solid sourcing.
True.
Okay, but and when you read a piece of news, can you make out instantly कि इन्होंने कोई creative liberty use करी है या something is sort of off? Can you, after so many, I'm sure you can. So how do you recognize that?
See, technology gives great opportunity. Everybody knows. But technology gives challenges also.
Correct.
Like fake news, fake video, deep video. There is a technology. If you go back to 20 years ago, there was nothing.
Correct.
But today, we have lots of technological invention and we have lots of options. But at the same time, that is being misused by people also. So we always keep in mind, must be creativity, should be there. Because these lines are there. If you are not creative, you cannot produce.
Right, but it's interesting, sir, because when I draw a parallel, when we use words like media, communications, marketing, etc., journalism aata hai, and then there are other areas, other careers like advertising hai, filmmaking, also social media marketing, also social media posting and making viral memes, buckets, etc. एक बहुत big element of creativity, like that can be a real game changer, and they have like a big creative liberty over there. But for a journalist, I mean, you almost have like a code of conduct, or like a checklist or a code of conduct, जैसे आप अभी बोल रहे थे. So it's interesting because बाकी areas of communication with creativity, you can take a lot of liberty. Nobody expects you to be objective or unbiased or factually correct, 100% correct. ऐसा नहीं है, because you're talking from a person's perspective, his expression of interest, his belief system, his take, his stand, his opinion. But in your profession, it's more like you need to have, even if your personal opinion might be something else, you need to kind of try and get everybody's opinion, and that's what makes, according to you, a sound piece of news. So that's very interesting. Now, when you're doing a piece of news, like where do you draw the line to say that okay, this is the kind of thing I can take a little bit of liberty with, but beyond this, ये credible नहीं रहेगी. Like how do you walk that line, and where do you draw the line?
देखिए, लाइन ये होता है कि यदि कोई भी स्टोरी हम कर रहे हैं और उसमें 3 स्टेक होल्डर है, जब तक तीनों स्टेक होल्डर का हमारे पास रिस्पांस नहीं होगा, तब तक हम उस स्टोरी को ऑन एयर नहीं करेंगे.
And this is standard protocol?
Generally. Okay. But in the breaking news moment, I must tell you, in breaking news moment, every channel has, as cutthroat competition.
Right.
So in that case, even in that case, I must tell you, suppose we are in a breaking news situation, even then, we don't have soundbite, but we try to connect the concerned stakeholder on the phone line,
right,
so that they can give their perspective.
Correct.
So viewer can judge who is right, who is wrong.
Right. Okay. And in times of let's say there are some very intense situations that a journalist is expected to cover, especially अगर आप crime है या politics है या you do the beats like that. I'm sure like you've covered in your time, you've seen a lot of very extreme situations also, like let's say the Mumbai attacks or the Parliament attack, or any other situation of national importance. Can you give us like a sense of what is happening in a like a news channel, and also what is then your focus?
Yes.
Yeah.
देखिए रूपांजलि, मैं आपको एक बात बताऊं कि यदि आप ब्रेकिंग मोमेंट है
हाँ.
और उस समय यदि आप न्यूज रूम में जाएंगे तो आपको एहसास होगा कि इतना हल्ला क्यों हो रहा है। यदि आप पीसीआर में जाएंगे तो सब चिल्ला रहे हैं।
Okay.
इतना हल्ला होता है, बाइट काटो, बाइट लाओ, रिएक्शन लाओ, फोन जोड़ो, ये करो, वो करो। There are so many things.
Right.
The basic purpose is to give the message to the viewer. क्योंकि देखिए व्यूअर का जो दर्शक है उसका इतना एक्सपेक्टेशन होता है, खास करके जब से 24 आवर न्यूज चैनल में ब्रेकिंग न्यूज कल्चर आया है, मिनट मिनट का खबर चाहिए व्यूअर को।
राइट, so we see, continue with that. I mean, अगर think a national crisis happens, so I'm sure like there is immense amount of pressure, right? I mean, it's 24 hours, and जब तक वो crisis, उसके बाद भी, I mean, it's longer than 24 hours, 48 hours sometimes. How do you, I mean, how does that happen? Like, how do you keep that, working with all that pressure? And where have you experienced it personally as well? I'm sure you have. So can you like shed some light on?
देखिए, मैं एक उदाहरण देना चाहूंगा, बॉम्बे टेरर अटैक।
Okay.
2008
मुंबई अटैक।
मुंबई अटैक, पाकिस्तानी टेररिस्ट सब बॉम्बे पर। वो ऐसी घटना थी कि पहली बार टेरर अटैक को न्यूज चैनल लाइव कवर कर रहा था उस स्केल पे।
राइट।
और लाइव कवरेज होने से क्या हो रहा था कि पाकिस्तान में जो मास्टरमाइंड था वो लाइव हमारा इंडियन चैनल देख रहा था, क्योंकि डिलेड नहीं था। लेकिन वो ऐसी घटना थी जो मैं कभी नहीं भूलूंगा, 56 आवर तक चला था ऑपरेशन।
और आप 56
और सारे चैनल में, जहां मैं था, बाकी चैनल, सारे के सारे चैनल में रूपांजलि 56 आवर तक कोई घर नहीं गया जो स्टूडियो में था। और ऐसा नहीं कि किसी ने कहा किसी को,
वही मैं पूछ रही थी कि कोई प्रेशर नहीं था किसी का,
नहीं,
बट इट वाज लाइक अ कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट।
कंडक्ट है, सेल्फ एस्टीम, डिवोशन, लव टू द कंट्री। मेरे कंट्री पर पाकिस्तानी टेरर अटैक हो गया। घर में जो हमारे लोग थे वो भी फोन करके कह रहे थे क्या हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है। पूरा देश, पूरी दुनिया, मैं कहूंगा, क्योंकि वो जो बॉम्बे टेरर अटैक था इंडिया पे था, बॉम्बे पे था, लेकिन उसमें जो लोग थे अमेरिकन भी थे, वो भी विक्टिम थे, इजरायली थे, मैनी कंट्री citizens suffered.
I must tell you, so this is a very, this is an anecdote from that actually. I studied in University of Westminster. उनके representatives ताज महल होटल में आए हुए थे उस टाइम पे, and he was there, like one of the University of Westminster representatives were there, and there was a bullet that came towards him. His wife had given him, वो जो चश्मा रखने का box होता है, and the bullet hit that box, and he survived somehow. So when he met us later, he had this anecdote to tell us, and so yeah, definitely there were people from all parts of the world, and there was no code of, nobody told you to not go home, yeah, something like that. It was more like a sense of commitment and duty. So you don't have like a hypocritic oath, but you have this sense of duty towards this profession. And चाहे cutthroat competition कितनी भी हो, but when it comes to something of national importance, everybody will do this. Okay. And sir, one more question I wanted to ask you. I have personally seen, because I have interacted with a lot of faculty who were previously also journalists, and who spend a lot of time in this industry. when you join news, then there is this sense of idealism in you कि you want to change the world या हम कुछ positive कुछ constructive करना चाहते हैं, this is a big weapon. And then when that clashes with reality, the reality of, let's say, the fact that running a news channel is a very very expensive proposition, and there are commercial pressures, there are political pressures, there are all kinds of pressures. When the two clash, then I have seen a lot of people feel a little demotivated, and that idealism sort of dwindles away, and over a period of time then they also want to go and explore other opportunities because they बहुत हताश हो जाते हैं ऐसे. How have you kept that idealism alive in you? And that's part one, and part two is the onslaught of digital. What do you think the future is going to be?
There are two questions you have asked me. First, how I managed high voltage profession for so long.
Absolutely.
It becomes a habit. Initially, still I remember when I was working with first company, Karan Thapar, and then I shifted to 24-hour news channel Aaj. So in 24-hour channel, I realized how much pressure, not only one individual, either you go to PCR, either you go to MCR, you go to reporter, desk, anchor. People see anchoring कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उनके पीछे उनको भी प्रिपरेशन करना पड़ता है. रिपोर्टर लाइव दे रहा है, रिपोर्टर जहां से लाइव दे रहा है वो भी छोटा नहीं है. जो पीसीआर में है, जो पूरा मैनेज कर रहा है, होता क्या है कि बाहर से हमें बहुत ग्लैमर लगता है. When you come inside, then you realize कि लोग कैसे एफर्ट कर रहे हैं. ये तो अपनी सबका, लेकिन एक आदत ऐसी बन जाती है 24-hour न्यूज चैनल में रहने का कि आप में वो इवॉल्व हो जाता है कि यू मोटिवेट योरसेल्फ. लेकिन there are few people, they can't digest, they can't make themselves according to the pressure. They get out from the system, but there are very few. And second, your question is other side.
So, like digital के आने से, how do you foresee the future? Because see, you almost like Gen Z is not referring to a news channel too much today. You almost have like an entire generation of people that may or may not be watching TV. Their source of information on news is maybe online. बहुत सारे channels हैं, online बहुत सारे web portals हैं, news portals हैं. And a lot of journalists are now starting their own podcast. आपने भी एक YouTube channel खोला है. So I mean, with the onslaught of digital, therefore, all the people who are getting into journalism, there is also this thing about loss of jobs, or like the future, what the future is going to hold. So my question is really, what is your suggestion for anybody who's trying to get into this fold?
Yes. See, Rupanjali, I must tell you, this question, very important question, and it has been asked by in fact, Delhi School of Communication also, many times your student asks me. So I always give suggestion. See, we have to become multitasker, number one. Number two, technology never ends. It goes. Every day you find something new.
Okay.
So, suppose some student joins broadcast any channel, I suggest them, do your job, but at the same time, do something for digital. Digital means either you write up for digital, because every channel has its own digital platform.
Right. So what you're trying to say is, I think a couple of months back in the convocation ceremony, also one of the key speakers had said, be a specialist but also a generalist. And that's, I think, an important piece.
Exactly. Because podcast, like you just rightly you said, YouTube channel. There are so many YouTube channels. I'm giving you one data. There are 40 lakhs YouTube channel in India that have more than 1 lakh subscription.
Correct. Wow.
YouTube business, digital business has gone up so much, 7,000 crore revenue.
So
in a year.
Right. So I think even for prospective students, I think an interesting thing to keep in mind is the fact that you do a program, or wherever you're doing it, you study something which is also futuristic, which is not only training you for broadcast or for journalism, but also other areas of communication like advertising, PR, marketing, because there are lots of other areas also in media and communications. Okay, I think we're running completely short of time, so but I'm going to end on like a personal. Yeah.
One thing I would like to say, Delhi School of Communication, what I have realized, your institution is giving students everything.
Yeah.
Because marketing, PR, plus media, that will give them great opportunity, and they are giving them great opportunity.
Yeah, we do an IMC course where the idea is to help students understand that beyond journalism or apart from journalism, not beyond, but apart from journalism, there are lots of other in areas as well where they can utilize their freedom of expression and their creativity as well, and even a strategic sense.
Correct.
So that's what we do. Okay, but I want to end on a personal story. I want to ask you, what is the craziest story that you worked on? या मतलब जैसे बोलते हैं ना, बहुत पापड़ बेले स्टोरी के लिए, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा धक्के भी खाए बहुत स्टोरी के लिए, या कोई पर्सनल एनेक्डोट हो जो आपको आपके जहन में हो, सो प्लीज शेयर विद द व्यूअर्स.
देखिए, एक बार क्या हुआ, मैं एक चैनल में काम कर रहा था, तो हमारे सीनियर थे, एक इलेक्शन किसी भी चैनल के लिए बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, उसमें हमारे सीनियर ने क्या किया था, कुछ गलत ग्राफिक्स दे दिया था, उनको पता नहीं था.
ओके.
बना के दे दिया, बन गया. अब कल सुबह से चलना है वो ग्राफिक्स, रात के 11-12 के आसपास टाइम हो रहा है. हमें बुलाया जाता है कि वो आपके कॉलीग कहाँ है, तो नहीं है. तो मैं हमसे बोलते, क्या आप ये ठीक कर लेंगे इसको? मैंने कहा हाँ कर तो सकते हैं, कितना टाइम लगेगा? तो मैंने कहा 1-2 घंटे में हो जाएगा. हो जाएगा. उनको डर लग रहा था कि 2 घंटे में करेगा कैसे. मैं एक तो प्रेशर और दूसरा एक्साइटमेंट था कि मैंने कॉन्फिडेंस था मैं कर लूंगा. मन में उनको कह नहीं रहा था. लेकिन दूसरे जो वहां पर थे जो इशारा कर रहे थे कि इतना भी तुम नहीं कर पाओगे, तुम्हारा कॉलेज जो बर्बाद कर दिया इसको, उसकी नौकरी चली जाएगी. भैया वो मतलब नहीं, अब ये मालिक खड़े हैं यहाँ पे, हमारे टॉप बॉस खड़े हैं, वो कह रहे हैं कि तुम कर लोगे, मैं क्या बोलूं.
और प्लस आपको एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखी,
अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं था. और रूपांजलि, मुझे याद है 3 बजे रात तक मैं था वहां पे, 4 बजे तक, बल्कि मैं गया ही नहीं घर, होल नाइट. बट थैंक्स गॉड, नाइट है, within 3 hours I did everything. Same people came, बोले कि क्या हुआ, तो बोला सर तो कर दिया. जब उन्होंने दिखाया तो हमारे पीठ पर वो हाथ देख बोलते हैं वेल डन. बोले थैंक यू सर.
So Birendra Chaudhary the star after that. Great, and as we say, the rest is history. So thank you so much sir for this wonderful session. We'll definitely connect for a longer session as well, but thank you so much, and thank you to all the viewers for tuning in, for listening. We'd love to hear from you, so please share your feedback, your comments in the comment section, and like, share and subscribe. Ting 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 going forward.
Thank you,
so,
thank you रूपांजलि.
yeah.
Thank you Delhi School of Communication. आपने मुझे ये मौका दिया, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
Thank you all.
धन्यवाद.
Thank you. The pleasure is all ours, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.